Uh-oh.
Do we really? And we have speed. Hey, Bobbie. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Well, I just want to tell everyone, welcome to the rebirth of the Colgate Comedy Hour.
I love you.
Who's Jerry?
I don't know. You'll never make the weight.
You'll have to be both of them.
Oh, thanks.
We don't pass the physical.
But it's fun trying.
Ooh, isn't it?
Hey, listen, I've been looking forward to talking with both of you because, first of all, if I can start with you, Betty, I've already told you that we share a good friend, John Hillerman.
Oh, yes. Dear John. He's doing so beautifully now.
Yes, and I'm so thrilled for his happiness and his success.
Me too. And
so tell him hi for me when you see him.
Oh, I'll do it for sure.
But another thing I wanted to talk with you about is that, you have always been very special to me. I've never met you before, but as a broadcaster, and then you've, of course, gone on to acting, but you're a person, you bounce back and forth from one thing to the other, and I admire that so very much.
Oh, Bobbie, that's luck. That's just wonderful, because I happened to start when television started, and you just did, if you could hold still in front of a camera, they'd say, oh, wonderful, you're in television, and then about 2 years later, they started giving you $5 a program. So, but it's been such a wonderful thing through the years to be able to switch when one thing begins to dry up, then you go to another. I started as an actress in situation comedy, but that went away for a long time when I was doing games and became a, quote, personality and commercials and parades and stuff. That then it came as a surprise when the Mary Tyler Moore Show came along and people said, oh, and she can act. So it's a lovely way to just wind your way through the industry.
Is there anything in the business that would frighten you if they said, hey, Betty, how about doing...
Well, yes, I would not want to be one of these in-the-field newscasters. That would just scare the daylights out of me, where you pull up in a car and you go and talk to strangers. And I'd want to say, excuse me, I don't mean to bother you, but could you, when you get a minute, could you tell me how the accident happened? That would scare me.
That surprises me, because I expected you to say, I'll have a crack at anything.
No, not at all. It's just, of course, if that's the only way I can stay in television, I'll try that. But I'd just as soon not, because that takes another kind of real expertise. That's really broadcasting.
Is it as much fun to host a game show as it is to be a contestant?
Normally I'd say no, because you are a little inhibited insofar as you've got to mind the store. I'm lucky with Just Men because it's such a loose format. We dignify it. We call it a game show. It's really a talk show with a game, skeletal game around holding us together on a good day. But it's, I'm able to walk around. I'm not limited to a one given area, and I can walk up and talk to the fellas, and while one is answering a question, if somebody smarts off over here, I can turn and bring him into the conversation. So in this instance, I'm having just as much fun as playing.
Peter, how about you?
I've been trying to get on Just Men, and I've been trying to get close to Betty so she'll get me on there so I can, make smart remarks.
You made the scene very quickly.
Do you enjoy being in control of it more than being a participant?
Very much. That's interesting, because I qualified to be a host by being so bad as a contestant. Years ago, I was on a show called The Rebus Game. I don't know if anybody remembers.
Sure.
That. With my wife, and we had just gotten married, and the relatives back in Atlanta had not seen me before, and they called up and said to my wife, gee, he's very nice. He's not awfully bright, but he's very nice. So that was the end of my contestant days, and from then on I thought about perhaps being a host. But it's a great deal of fun, because you can be yourself. I had done some acting as well, and of course you're playing a role, you're playing a character, and you're developing a different character other than yourself. Whereas as a host, you are being yourself, and it's terrific fun. It really is.
Peter, how do you deal with the critics? I don't know that there's ever been a good review of a game show.
I try to get to them and hit them, basically, real hard.
Hence the name of the show.
Exactly. I become a hitman. Oh, I have learned rather quickly that you just ignore it, basically, because game shows are fair game. To give a positive review of a game show is to somehow minimize your own intellectuality. So you kind of accept the fact that it's open season. And ultimately, as much as everyone would like to have good reviews, it's the people out there who are going to give you the reviews. They're going to decide whether or not the show stays on the air.
Betty, your show has had a couple, or at least I am aware of a couple of reviews that they really come down hard on it. Not you personally, but
No,
just,
but in Dallas, the review that came out of
Yeah.
Dallas was really, but it, I think the point was lost in what we were trying to do, and I guarantee, they said that the men looked embarrassed. I guarantee they're having as much fun as I'm having, and they each week beg to come back and stuff. So I think it's the way, as Peter says, the way you address game shows. Game shows are something less than we should even bother with. I wish you could have seen some of the terrible things they said about Password through the years. And now they use it as well, I don't know why we don't get games like Password and we get these other rotten games. It depends on point of view. And I think if you keep your sense of humor and try to see what's trying to be done and listen to it, instead of painting all game shows with the same brush, relax and have a little fun. You might find yourself laughing if you're not careful.
We're not trying to be pretentious. It's trying to have fun. And if it's judged on that basis, I think you.
We're in the
differently.
entertainment business.
Exactly.
yeah.
At least Betty is. The
What
jury's
is your
still out.
excuse?
Jury's out. They'll be in soon.
Betty, did Alan have any particular philosophy that now that you're hosting this kind of show that comes back to you where you say, I bet Alan would say, or, do you find yourself thinking like that?
All the time. I bet Alan is laughing so hard that here I am winding up on his network, practically in his time spot, and he would be so thrilled because he thoroughly had the respect. That's why it's such a joy to hear Peter talk about the hosting of a game show the way he does. Alan brought so much enthusiasm to it. He was so interested in the people who were playing the game. He was interested in the game. He was interested in the integrity of the game. Just Men, ours is a much looser format. But in Hitman, it's as in Password, you have to keep them fairly within the bounds and move the game on because after all, that's why you're there. And he couldn't wait to go to work on Password, ever, through 20 years of doing it. And I think that speaks very well for the whole genre.
Yeah.
There comes playtime. They're having a whole new psychology now of they send people away who are under stress. They send them away to a play camp, adults. And I think it's mental exercise for us instead of just vegetating, seeing the same plots over and over again on a soap opera. At least it stimulates your mind a little to think, how would you answer that question?
Right. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed meeting you and talking with both of you. You're neat people.
Oh, Bobbie, thank you for your help.
And forget the critics. Just go on and have fun with the show, and we all will do the same watching.
Good.
Thank
Give
you.
us a shot. I think
Right.
you'll like it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bobbie.
Now, if I could just ask you to do one thing, please. Take a close-up of Betty looking at Peter, and then a close-up of Peter, and
So
Betty
get her a
just
bag.
Betty just looking interested, and then each one of them just looking and being quiet, not laughing or
How about this?
smiling
This
or
is impossible.
just looking interested.
This is where you have to act, Betty.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is acting.
Okay.
now,
Yeah, this
right?
is for editing.
Method.
Okay, since we don't have two cameras. Yeah, Betty, are you on, Betty?
Yes.
Yeah. So Betty is listening, and she might even nod her head.
I'm trying to say something that's
Uh-huh.
somewhat intelligent. Working on it. I'll come over this
Okay.
soon. Trust me. I know. Should I do
All right,
it?
that should do fine. Now on Peter the
Yup,
same.
Yemeni.
Okay, Peter is going to listen.
Uh-huh.
And, oh, Peter is nodding.
Okay, I'm getting turgid. Is it? There.
Okay. And Peter, if you can, just laugh once.
Squaring
You're
up, I do appreciate
absolute
his
fool.
attitude on hosting a game show. It's a joy. It's like hearing Alan talk about hosting a game show.
Oh, that's a nice compliment.
Okay, thank you. That should, yeah, that'll.
Bobbie, any two shots of you and Betty? You did quite a bit of talking back and forth, and the camera was on Betty most of the time. Do you want that kind
Well,
of-
I'll do reacts of myself later. Yeah.
Okay, but
yeah.
you don't want a two-shot
Um,
of the two?
I don't think we'll need it really. I think we're okay. Yeah.
Well, thank
Okay.
you very
Ooh,
much.
that was-
Can we do this with a close-up and then?
One take. And we're gonna speak.
Okay.
Two sharp-witted gals put a panel of 7 guys on the hot seat on Just Men. And come to think of it, I do like the odds. Just Men, weekdays at 11 a.m. here on Channel 5.
Good. I like a hell of a 10 seconds. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Another.
Rolling. We're gonna speak.
It's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it. They're Just Men, weekdays at 11 a.m. on Channel 5.
Betty, can you pull your necklace over just a hair or two, please?
How did you know I had hair on my chest? Or a hair or two. Two sharp-witted gals put a panel of 7 guys on the hot seat. Doesn't that sound like fun? Weekdays here at 11 a.m. on Channel 5.
Okay, and this is just a 3-second ID. Just Men, weekdays at 11 a.m. on 5.
Just Men, weekdays at 11 a.m. on 5.
This is Just Men, today at 11 on 5.
Okay. Just Men, today at 11 on 5.
This is a Happy
Happy boys. Just Men.
Well, we'll let you do it for the game.
You notice there's no S in Hitman?